The Patriots' 10-game winning streak has been snapped by the damn Buffalo Bills. Coming into the season, I knew we would split the series, but this game was different. This game was for clinching the division. We could have been sitting pretty and keeping up with the Broncos for the first seed in the conference, but it's never that easy. We were up 21 and we choked. Or did the Bills have a better comeback? Regardless, we still lost. That first half, we were cooking. The run game was great, Drake May was throwing dimes, and we were locking up Josh Allen. But you could never count the Bills out, especially with Josh Allen. I was nervous with the lead, because how many times have we seen the Bills, and specifically Josh Allen, come back? Even this season, they came back multiple times, with Josh Allen turning up and taking the game over. And guess what happened? He took the game over. But he had more help than usual this game. The Patriots' second half was disappointing. The Bills adjusted, and it was very clear that we were going to lose this game. The defense could not stop the run or the pass. There was no pressure on Josh Allen in the second half. He was cozy in that pocket. To be fair though, he doesn't make it easy to sack him. But every time he dropped back, I felt like we were never going to get a sack. Coach Vrabel was on the podcast the next morning, complaining about the lack of holding calls the Bills got when they lead the league in holding calls.
The Bills lead the NFL in offensive holding. And I'll leave it at that.
And he's being salty, I get it, but they did have an offensive holding call on them that erased a touchdown, but they scored later in the play anyways. The second half offense was stale, with some questionable play calling. We only ran the ball 3 times, and one of those runs was for a touchdown. We were having so much success there, and the Bills have one of the worst run defense in the league, so why aren't we doing that more? I don't understand. They have continued to push their propaganda of splitting carries and having 2 starting running backs, but it seemed like they learned a bit, because Trevion got 14 of the carries, while Ramondre got 6, but Trevion should have had more, at least 10 more. Drake May was under a lot of pressure in the second half, and he couldn't connect with his receivers, so why not run the ball that was working the first half? I don't understand. The Bills were forcing 3 and outs, they scored on 5 straight drives, and our defense couldn't do anything. We had to start questioning the defensive scheme, because it's a bend don't break. We let them have their 5-6 yards, and hoping our players can make the play to stop them. But it doesn't work against someone like Josh Allen, where he'll take that any day, and he does well to extend the plays. I understand we got some injuries on the defensive front, but still, we gotta do something. Alright, let's get to the point about the refs. The refs were dog shit the whole game on both sides. Did the Patriots get screwed more by the refs? Yes, they did. But come on, we know the refs suck. There was a lot of questionable calls, but the one I want to talk about is the Marcus Jones pass interference interception. That was bad. I understand why it was called PI. Marcus Jones did make an effort to turn and look and see where the ball was, but when he did that, he was pretty much in the receiver's chest already. So I understand why it was called. The catch by the receiver, it was not one. There was no clear indication he had full control of it. Even without the PI call, they still would have gave it to the offense as a catch. But we've seen this call multiple times already, and we know it favors the offense, so they're always going to give it to the receiver. Let me know what you thought about that call, because that was probably the most controversial call of the game. Losing sucks. We all know this, especially to a division opponent. And this game meant a lot, because we could have secured the division. It was a winnable game, but we blew it.
You blew it, man.
It's okay though, we won 10 straight games and we should not overreact to one loss, especially to a team that is playoff bound and have had Super Bowl aspirations the last couple seasons. The Patriots have to learn from this game, learn from their mistakes, improve the play calling, because we might see the Bills in the playoffs. We had a couple of injuries this game, but we do have some players hopefully coming back soon. The run defense have been bad the last couple of weeks, but it should improve with Milton Williams coming back. Splain didn't play this game, but it seemed like he could have. I just want us to get healthy for the playoffs. Hopefully we can lock up the division early and rest some key guys. The play calling has to improve. If the run game is working, keep running, especially in the second half. 3 was absolutely absurd. And one of them we scored. Like, come on, what are we doing here? There's 3 more games in the regular season. The division is still winnable. We control our own fate. We can win the last 3 games. We have the Ravens, the Jets, and then the Dolphins. They are all winnable games. Of course, with the Ravens, we don't know which Ravens we'll get because they've been very hot and cold, but they clawed their way back to a 500 record, so we cannot sleep on them. It's 1 loss. Let's move on to the next game. We're on to Baltimore.